Red Dead Online is broken, and Rockstar needs to implement a new title update to fix all of this game's issues. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about everything that is wrong and has been wrong with Red Dead Online for almost the entirety of the month of September, ever since the September event kicked off in-game and we downloaded Red Dead Online Title Update 1.31. The entire player base on all platforms has been bogged down by tons of bugs, glitches, and general game issues that need to be addressed by the developers. And while it is one thing to talk about all this game's current performance and stability problems, I promised you yesterday in my video on the channel that I have a few workarounds for some of the biggest and most annoying bugs players are facing right now. I tried to nail down the biggest pain points for Red Dead Online currently, but my list, I'm sure, is not nearly comprehensive enough, so if you have some other experiences with game-breaking problems or potential fixes or workarounds for those problems, please share your knowledge and advice in the comments section below. It would be excellent to have all the information resources down there for players to look through if they so choose, and I definitely encourage you all to do so. If you enjoyed this video at any point though, or if you just find it helpful, let me know by dropping a like on it, and if you want to stay up to date with everything Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online, consider hitting that subscribe button with your bell notifications turned on. So starting off with probably one of the biggest issues because it affects an entire role here in game, that is the naturalist role, and it is basically entirely broken. For example, samples are not counting for daily challenges. When you go to sample a normal animal or a legendary animal for whatever challenges you have for the naturalist role, taking samples of those animals do not count for those daily challenges, meaning you're earning less gold in the game because you can't do the naturalist role daily challenges. And then also another issue that players are experiencing here is their wilderness camp crafted and cooked items doesn't count for the daily challenges as well. Whether you're trying to cook big game meat or any seasoned meat or fish in game, you actually won't get the progress XP and the gold for completing the wilderness camp crafted and cooked daily challenges. And unfortunately, while I do not have a workaround for the samples because it just seems like there is no way to get that to work in private lobbies and public sessions, just trying to jump in and out of different games, all that, no matter all the methods that I've tested to try and get that to work, I can't. But I do have a little tip for the wilderness camp challenges, and that is honestly just to get those done before you complete a single mission in game. I'm going to talk about why that's important a little bit later on when we talk about the camp fast travel pros, but let's quickly move on to the hunting wagon problems, because a lot of players cannot spawn their hunting wagon, or if they spawn their hunting wagon in-game and the horse and the wagon run up to you and you try and get on and you are hunting animals and you're doing well and you have a bunch of legendary animal skins that you need to turn in and store in that hunting wagon, well, guess what? Because if you're lucky enough to get it to spawn, you actually can't put any animals in the wagon and store them in the inventory, which basically makes that wagon useless. So sometimes it spawns and you can't put the pelt in, or the wagon, for a lot of players, it just doesn't spawn at all. And one workaround and a fix I have for this is you're just going to want to flee your horse manually before you call the wagon. The game does allow you to just go to your stables, go to vehicles, and call your bounty wagon or your hunting wagon, but that will make the hunting wagon actually glitch out. It shouldn't actually glitch out before, but now it is now. Whatever happened with that September update, it's causing an issue. So a consistent way to fix this just temporarily in that instance is to first dismount your horse, flee your horse, and then call the hunting wagon, and it should work properly. You still may run into an issue where you can't put pelts and carcasses in the wagon, but at least you can get it to spawn. And if you can get it to spawn, you're more likely to be able to put those pelts and carcasses in the first place because you're not glitched out right at the beginning. After that though, horses and stables and the connection between those two are not working properly. For example, a lot of players, including myself, haven't been able to access stables at certain times. And another fix I have for this, the same thing for the hunting wagon, is just to flee your horse before entering those stables. Now I will say, at least on PC, I haven't played on PS4 and Xbox in like a month now, and Xbox has probably been a couple months, so I have no idea about that system and that platform. What I can say is that Saint Denis and the Valentine stables typically, more often than not, are bugging out for me, and they have been bugging out since before the September event, and those problems at those two stable locations have been made so much worse since the September update. And so my problem is that I would go into those stables and I would try and leave, and basically it would glitch out. I would black screen, fade to black, my character would spawn outside the stable, walk all the way back in through the stable doors, and it would take me through to the stable menu again. And then when I would actually be able to leave, I would be successful with that. I would leave the stable, but I wouldn't be on my horse. I'd be on my hunting wagon. And so it was just totally glitched out. So I've just gotten in the accustomed and practiced just basically not accessing the Valentine's stable, because that happens every time now since the September update. So that stable is basically ruined for me. Saint Denis, it's a hit or miss, probably about 50-50, half and half. It works, it doesn't work. But if you have problems getting into the stable in the first place, just flee your horse like you do with the hunting wagon, and then the stables shouldn't glitch out on you. Now, like when I was talking about the naturalist role and you had the problem with the wilderness camp, there's also an issue that I've been experiencing with the camp fast travel post, where it actually bugs out and you can't fast travel from it. One of the problems is you try and access the menu, the fast travel list of all the different destinations and locations pops up for a split second, then it just goes away and you hear the audio cue of exiting that menu. And again, if you just want to use the camp fast travel post, unfortunately you need to do it before you start a mission. If you do start a mission, then you complete it and you go back to your camp to fast travel, it starts glitching out again. So unfortunately, every single time you're going to need to basically load into a new lobby if you want to use the camp fast travel post. So at this point, you might as well just use the wilderness fast travel or the normal camp fast travels at all the different locations all around the game. This isn't really like a bug or a glitch, but the lobbies are more populated now, and usually when this happens, you're going to find between 23 and 27 players. With other lobbies, sometimes you can get even more populated than that, but typically right now, if you head into public sessions and you're not just playing in solo lobbies and you glitch out your own solo lobbies, you're going to find almost fully populated sessions in this game. So that's kind of good news, because at least you're going to see more players and you can have more community and interactivity, maybe make some new friends in these free roam sessions. But here's one of the problems that stems from this. The populated sessions aren't necessarily the issue with this game, but just like way back when we had the Moonshiners update, in between the Moonshiners update in December 2019 and then the Naturalist update in July of 2020, these populated lobbies are making regular animals, legendary animals, and all the different random encounters and dynamic events basically despawn and disappear in this game. This used to happen between those two updates, and Rockstar did fix it with the Naturalist update, but now this problem has returned with these populated lobbies, and you're going to see this problem basically in every session you join, because every session you join now has that increased player count. So Rockstar's fix, I guess, was to just lower the population of the lobbies, and with the recent September update, this is now glitched out again. You're having more populated sessions, which is causing an issue with the animal spawns and dynamic event spawns. So unfortunately, that's back. Again, the fix for this is really just to have your own private session. There's different methods on Xbox and PlayStation for doing this. Same thing with PC. I would recommend you research those online and see how you can form your own basically private lobby, private session, quote unquote, in Red Dead Online. And then one of the final glitches and issues and game stability problems I wanted to talk about for those PC players out there, because I play on PC myself mostly. PC for Red Dead Online and even Red Dead Redemption 2 as well, it continues to crash. Every time you do something, it seems like every other lobby, this used to happen, I swear, so many times. I forget between which update. It was probably between Moonshiners and the Naturalist as well, but it's been really upsetting me recently because it happened in a different way. Before, if you tried to start a legendary bounty or a Moonshiner story mission or any of those instance missions where you wouldn't, you'd be taken through a loading screen and then you'd be placed in the middle of some mission with all the mission prompts and you go through it, and then when you finish it, you try and load back into the free roam and you would black screen. Well, now that same thing is happening, but you're not black screening. Your game is actually just quitting during that loading screen, and unfortunately, I have no fix for this. I don't know what to do about this. There was one fix I had for when sometimes you would get the black screen on Moonshiner missions, and that would just because you sold a trader wagon beforehand, either local or long distance. But now this is happening and your game is just straight up quitting and crashing with no sort of dev error or error code or crash code or the GFX error code. Your game just quits, and I'm not sure how to fix this. I'm sorry. If I do get some sort of update, I will post that in the comments below, but I'd love to know what you guys think about this down in the comments. Basically, if you have any advice for me or other players, definitely leave that knowledge and advice in the comments below. I want the comments to be like a really useful resource for people to be sharing information of how to fix certain problems, because I know the community with Red Dead Online is really strong. If we come together, we can probably fix a lot of these problems, whether permanently or temporarily, with a lot of different methods that players have. I've been seeing a lot of comments on my channel recently, just ever since I talked about the fact that I was making this video, and I wish I could feature them in this video as well. If you posted a comment after this video releases, post it in this video so players players can check it out. But I think with all that said, we're going to be wrapping things up right here, and that's all we have time for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video today, and if you did, hopefully I earned your like on it. And of course, if you are new to my channel and you want to stay up to date with all the best Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games content, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single thing we post here on the channel. We consistently talk about updates, news, information, tips, tricks, and even leaks, and we'll keep you guys updated here on the channel daily. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to follow me over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected with me outside of YouTube, and you're more than welcome to ask many questions on those platforms. You can follow me at HazardousHDTV, and all of my social media links can be found in the description down below. That being said, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Appreciate the support here on the channel, and I will see you guys in the next Red Dead Online video. Adios, amigos.